Oh my gosh. Wait. Ah, man, I was so sure. What? Holy moly. I turned off the BGM and turned on my reverb because I was like 90% certain I was about to sneeze. I felt it coming. It was going to be so funny. Oh man, wait, hold on. I still got some things from Anime Impulse turned on. Oh my gosh. There we go. Hello. Oh, thank you for the feather. I wish it would work. I think it's gone. Yeah, I was going to give you a super cinematic, dramatic, universal, reverbed sneeze with no BGM. But it just didn't happen. Made himself sharper. Well, yeah, whenever we do meet and greet events remotely, like we did recently, I actually will put I put a sharpen filter over my camera because I don't think I've ever had a meet and greet that did not have internet struggles. And I think that adding a sharpness filter helps cut through the low quality a little bit so that you can still kind of see what's going on, even though it's in like 144p half the time. Oh my gosh. Yahoo. Hello. Oh my goodness. Thank you for waiting. Thank you for coming. And thank you for being patient with me, by the way, when it comes to not knowing what I'm going to stream. Whenever I get super busy like this, it's kind of difficult to do anything other than just figuring out the day of. No wonder I wasn't too crunchy. I wasn't too crunchy? You mean it? Because I feel like half the people that, like, when it came time to take photos, literally almost everybody was like, oh, he's so crunchy. Like, I can't fix it. It was actually a bit of a running joke with my, because I changed handlers for a little bit. I had my own handler, and that was awesome. It was actually my first handler. It was their first time, so I was very happy that I could be the first one that they had. And then halfway through I switched to another handler, but the second handler had this running joke of like, all right, Kaelix, you need to stop breathing, stop blinking, because anytime I would move, it would mess up the quality. Yeah, I did apply a sharpen filter, and I usually do whenever we do meet and greets, just because I find that it helps a little bit in times of low quality. And I don't know if you ever noticed, but back when we were streaming from the grandma PC, and when I struggled to output a higher quality picture, I actually did the same thing then. I had a sharper filter on. But now that I have a stronger PC, I can handle slightly bigger pictures. I'm still limited by my personal at-home internet, but I can handle not running the super sharp filter. Yeah, pause living for a little bit. Like just stop breathing, stop blinking, stop existing. I think what I need to look into is if there's a way to freeze frame in OBS in the future, then I can just have like perfect quality. I'll just strike a pose and then I freeze it and it doesn't move at all. So that way I can continue breathing and blinking and doing all my stuff, but it won't mess it up. Oh my goodness. Very, very thankful again that staff at Impulse were working so hard to fix everything. Both congested. I was not congested before. Like when I woke up, I actually was pretty decently not congested compared to my usual. But then I had to sneeze just now and I felt it coming, but it's not here. It keeps happening lately. I keep getting baited with fake sneezes. It's so devastating. Yeah, I gotta pull out the cardboard standee. Do you know about cardboard, Kaelix? Do you know my cardboard doppelganger, who I pull out whenever I don't want to do my job? I think I got him over here somewhere. Have you ever seen the both of us on the screen at the same time? Where did I put him? Oh, he's over here. He's over here. Wait. Okay, let me... Whoa, look at this guy. He looks just like me, doesn't he? Wait, hold on. There we go. It's my cardboard doppelganger. I pull this guy out whenever I don't want to do my job. Like right now, for instance, I just kind of want to lay down because my back really hurts. What if I have this guy do the stream instead? All right, here. I'm gonna take a little break, okay? I'm gonna go lay down for a minute. And let's hope that cardboard Kaelix can keep you entertained, okay? All right, I'm gonna. You aren't having too much fun, are you? I don't want you to be entertained by this guy. I want you to think he's boring. I want you to want me instead. Wait, no, don't give this to him. What the heck? He's just standing there. He didn't do anything. What the heck? What the heck is this about? Huh? What do you mean he's funny? He didn't tell a single joke. This guy isn't doing anything. This guy's a sham, is what he is. No way. No way. No. All right, you know what? You get this guy for today instead, if this is how you feel. If you are truly so entertained by him, then I'll just leave and I'll never come back. He tells good stories. Name a single story this man has told. He doesn't speak. Stop! This is not how you should be responding to this information. This is not how you should be. This is an absence of content, really. This is a lack of content. This is oh my god. Like, this is nothing. It's not even giving. It's taking is what it is. It's giving nothing. It's taking. It's taking and it's leaving nothing behind. This guy did not earn your support. Oh my god. He doesn't even have a voice. I'm the one speaking. He's just supposed to fill in for me. He's not supposed to replace me. I'm dead. I don't understand. Oh my god. No! I need you to stop. This isn't how this is supposed to go. Well, you know, maybe I could send this guy in for meet and greet, and then I could just like listen, and then he could stay there for me. That could be a new approach to meet and greet. What do you think about that? Maybe I should forward that to the higher ups. Be like, all right, so for meet and greet, I'm just gonna call on the phone, and you can have a cardboard standee instead. They like that just as much. They're just as happy with a cardboard standee. I don't actually have to show my face. I could just put this guy out here, and they'll be fine with that. Is that what I'm to take away from this? Would you be satisfied with that? You pay extra if it was him? What the heck? That's not how this is supposed to go. Oh man, I'm sick. Okay, hold on. He can't stay here. I'm sorry. I'm putting him away. I'm putting him away forever. I'm never relying on him ever again. I'm never relying on this guy ever again. You like him too much. I don't feel very good being replaced by this guy. He's made of nothing but paper and I don't know. He's mid. I'm better, right? I'm supposed to be better than that guy. What are you talking about? Ah, man. Holy moly. Anyway, today we're gonna play some Hytale. I don't actually know, or I don't know if, and I honestly don't think any other talent should be playing today. I said that last time, and then literally everybody was live. But I think it should actually just be us today. I'm pretty sure all the people that are regularly playing it, those that I checked at least, they were not planning to go live today. So we should be good to just chill for this one. We should be good to just hang out for a bit. So yeah, we're gonna go play Hytale, and it'll be me instead of that guy. All right, I'm never relying on him again. You liked him too much. He's supposed to be a half-baked replacement. You're not supposed to like him. Oh my goodness. Holy moly. All right, let's start Hytale. We can continue our conversation there. All right, that's enough. That is enough. What the heck? I was trying to prove a point. I'm trying to prove a point here. You're not. You make this so hard. Why? What are you talking about? Wait with words. He does not say a single thing. He just sits there. He wasn't even playing. That was me. I was just quietly playing behind him. What you don't know is that you actually might just unlock a vocal rest meta that I've never considered legitimately until now. Unironically, I may have a time when I'm like exhausted my voice. I've exhausted my voice and I can't speak. And I'll just pull him out instead. We could just pull him out and then I won't have to talk. And you'll be just as happy with that, right? Apparently more happy than when I'm talking normally. Anyway, I was trying to hold back from speaking, but they have changed this place so much in such a short time. Oh my god. This place is insane. So much has changed. What is this? Where does this go? This goes to the farm? They made a portal to the farm! What? It looks so cute. They expanded the well. They got the crops going. I'm gonna cry. Oh my god. So you don't even have to walk all the way? And they've made a path and a bridge! Oh my god, this is what dreams are made of! What are all these buildings? What has happened here? Oh my god! What is this? There's so much stuff! Well, hold on. Uma. Le Luca Tavern. So they're like they've broken off. They're doing their own stuff. Oh my god. They've done so much. I wish I could have been there to see it. Oh my god. And look at the path with the lambs. I'm gonna cry. Oh my god, it's so accessible to walk through. Oh. Now what is this? Whose is this? What is this? What's the deal with this? What's all this about? What are we doing here? Oh my god. Ah, this is where he's living. I see. So he's created the dorms for everybody to share, and now he's got his own private space cooking. Yeah, apparently I became a deity. Some lore that we missed. I say we missed, but this is insane. What is going on here? Oh my god. Wait, his horse is undead. What happened here? Anyway, some lore that we were not here to witness, but I saw on Twitter, is that apparently in my absence, Zeal has been speaking about me like I'm some exalted deity, like a god of farming. Like everything that they've been doing, specifically Zeal and Maria, I think in cultivating the farm, he'd be like, Kaelix would want it this way. So the lore now, I guess, is that I'm like some patron saint or patron deity of farming. Even though I contributed like nothing to it at all. I stepped away and then I got too busy to return. And life just moved on without me. Oh my god. At the very least, we can continue cultivating the farm and expand it, because actually, I love what they're doing here, but the reason I made it so far out, my intention from the beginning was to make all of this farmland. My goal is to cover these hills tip to tail in crops. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm so emo though, they made the path so nice. I figured the path would come way later. This little place is so homey. People live here. Is that a stable? Is that what that is? Uma. Oh, sorry. I did not mean to frighten you, sir. Are we making offerings now? Is that a thing we're doing? Maybe I should make myself a little shrine instead of a home. Because I see that everybody is like splitting off and making their own stuff. Maybe I should make a little shrine. This is crazy. So they figured out portals. I didn't even know that was a thing you could make. Oh my god. He made it symmetrical. I know he was thinking about me when he did that. I'm gonna make it better though. I just need time. So I guess he may have discovered, I figure in my absence, they were probably experimenting to figure out how farming works in this game, because I hadn't even fully figured it out at the time that I left. Apparently they have discovered that it's similar to Minecraft and that being directly near water helps. But it doesn't have to be a fully filled water space. It only has to have some water in it. I'm gonna make it more than even though. I'm gonna figure out a way to get it so that it's like every single block. Even if it's tedious, because I'm very picky about these things. But yeah, for now we can harvest some wheat. Did he get all these as eternal seeds? I'm so proud. Oh my gosh. That was one thing I discovered early on, was that you can get eternal seeds for every type of crop. And it will just continue to plant even after you've harvested it. But it seems very tedious to get those. Like with a lot of effort, I feel like you'd fill up a crop like that. So I don't know. That's kind of intense. So proud. I'm a proud deity. It's so goofy. Have you ever read about the God of Arepo? Are you familiar with that? It's a form of modern fiction from I think it was a Tumblr thing. I discovered it off of Tumblr because I've never personally used Tumblr. But I think that's where it started. These are all eternal seeds. I'm dead. Wow. You don't know about the God of Arepo? It's a really, really sweet and romantic story, actually. Romantic in the more like literary sense rather than like traditional romance is what I mean. I figure the best thing I can do for now is continue this quest to get all of these as eternal seeds. Oh my gosh, I'm so proud. So basically, I'm gonna tell this story in the wackiest, like most flawed, or not flawed, but incomplete way because I don't remember exactly how it goes. But I do vaguely remember a lot of it. So basically, the story of Arepo. Arepo is the name of this farmer. He's a farmer, and he whoa. So I can exchange these for more essence of life, and to get. Sorry, I'm distracted while I'm talking. Wait. So I need to get basic seeds in order to get more eternal seeds. So I'll craft some of these. Okay. These were carrots, right? The story of Arepo. Arepo is this farmer, and at the edge of his farmland, he creates a little shrine. He knows that gods stay in shrines, and that's where they're worshipped, so he makes one. Not with any god in particular in his mind. He just makes a shrine. Just for the sake of making one. And eventually, this god called Arepo takes residence inside. Or not this god called Arepo. This just unnamed, mysterious god takes residence inside of his shrine. And Arepo continues to worship without any acknowledgement from the god or anything. He just continues to make offerings on a regular basis. And eventually the god speaks to him and he says, Arepo, why do you continue to worship me? Do you not know that this is a huge waste of your time? Don't you know that you could go to the city, go to a temple in the city and actually get legitimate blessings that will help you? And Arepo says, what are you the god of? Who are you? And he's like, I'm the god of a ton of insignificant things, a ton of small nothings that nobody cares about. And when I say small nothings, he lists a bunch of them. I don't remember exactly what the god says verbatim, because I have not read about this or honestly even thought about it in a long time. But he lists the barrier between the forest and the field, and the skin of an apple yielding to your teeth as you take a bite, and just a bunch of small, beautiful but insignificant things like that. And he's like, I am the god of a ton of small nothings. You should not expect any kind of blessing from me. I can't help you. And Arepo, the farmer, he's like, well, this is already way more than I expected when I made the temple, so I don't care. And he just continues worshiping and making offerings and stuff, right? And life just continues like that. They have a number of sweet little similar conversations where it's basically just this god being like, there is no reason for you to continue worshiping me. I can't give you anything. I'm useless and I am powerless, and there's I'm just the smallest god ever, and I can't do anything. Just basically conversation after conversation, but they continue to talk to each other. And Arepo just continues his work. He continues farming. Very dedicated to his work, very hardworking man. And eventually, I may be skipping some steps here. I apologize if I'm telling this wrong, but eventually... Oh, wait, I need to do it at the farmer's bench, don't I? Sorry. Eventually, his country enters war, or it is invaded. There's conflict with another group of people, basically. And this conflict reaches Arepo on his farm. His fields are burnt to shreds. Everything is destroyed. The temple that he worked so hard, which gradually became a pretty decent place, by the way, like a pretty decent building. It started as just a humble pile of rocks, and eventually, you know, he gave it foundations and a roof and expanded it when he learned that a god was living in it. Everything was destroyed. His home destroyed, his fields burned, and he is fatally injured. And he comes crawling to the temple that he's made for this unnamed god of 1,000 nothings. And, whoa. And the god is like pleading with him. He's like, please, I can't help you. There's nothing I can do. I wish I could save you, but I just can't. And they have a, oh man, this is like one of the most important parts, but I can't remember it perfectly. Oh, that is cute. Basically they exchange words in his last moment is the idea. And even if this god could not save him or offer him healing or anything, he offered him company. And then there's like, that's the end of the story, right? That's the end of the first story that the person that made this wrote. And then somebody else added on to this and wrote a second attached story to it where, oh, look at the little cow. Little sheep in the distance. They wrote like a follow-up story. Like a second writer entirely made a story about like an archaeologist, I guess, somebody that's going from place to place, studying ruins, studying lost things, you know, old civilizations, things like that, and they discover this ruined temple with a pile of bones nearby, and this happens to be the temple that this unnamed god stayed in, that the farmer built, Arepo, and this archaeologist speaks and is like, or no, the god speaks to the archaeologist and is like, what are you doing here? What interest do you have in this humble pile of stone? And they have a conversation, and I think the archaeologist asks what became of this place and what became of like the skeleton nearby or something like that. This is the part where the story gets really, really blurry in my personal memory. But yeah, oh, they got animals. I keep interrupting it. But anyway, the archaeologists, they discover this place, and the god speaks to them, and they ask who this god is. You know, what do they worship for? What is the significance of this temple? And the god introduces himself all the same as the god of a ton of different nothings. And the god tells them the story of Arepo and how like Arepo was super devoted and Arepo worked so hard and worshipped forever, but that in the end, the god was not able to do anything for him. And that's when the archaeologist says, "You are not just the god of a ton of different nothings. I know exactly what you are." The archaeologist says, "You are the god of Arepo." Yeah, and that's basically how the story goes. Just a really nice piece of fiction that I really love, that was written on like a blog site. I think like a good 6-7 years ago, 8 years ago. Maybe closer to a decade ago. I discovered it a few years ago. That was a really long, convoluted explanation of something that did not really need that, but you get it anyway. Okay, I'm gonna just craft with the ones that I have on me rather than the ones that are in storage. Yeah, it's a really good story, right? I always thought it was really pretty. It is interesting to see, by the way, over the course of that story, we've got a full crop. These crops are growing really, really quickly. So if we honestly just run a loop like this, we can expand the farm pretty easily, I think. Like, we're already locked in here. Look at this. So we'll just go back to the workbench. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to make... We should expand the corn first so that we have a full crop of corn. So we need as many corn seeds as we can get. To get that, we need regular corn seed. Oh, look at that. We're balling. We can do that easy. Watch this. We'll do 10 of these. 10 of these. Fruitful and symmetrical. Do not worry. Symmetry will have no purpose at all in the long-term state of this farm. Symmetry will be meaningless when it is all expansive and just filling fields and fields. That's what I aspire to with this farm. I want it to be humongous. Okay, now we should have... Because that was corn, right? And this is wheat. Wheat, corn, lettuce, pumpkin, carrot. So we can continue the lettuce as well. Yeah, we're going to bless this place. So lettuce is all the same. We don't have quite as much lettuce, so I'll just craft with what I have for now. Oh, I guess I crafted from the... Oh, wait. I understand. Okay. I misunderstood how that worked. Let's see. Let's craft with 2, because that's what I harvested personally. I don't want to take what other people did. And we can make 1... Oh man, that disappeared fast. I didn't even realize I was cooking with all that essence of life when I did all the corn. Haven't thought about God of Arepo for a long time. There's a similar story called Heaven's Official Blessing that has a similar premise. Wait, hold on. I've heard the name Heaven's Official Blessing, but I don't remember which one that is. Can you describe the main character of Heaven's Official Blessing for me? So I can get what they look like in my mind. Oh, this is something else. Because you know what I was thinking of when I heard that title? Maybe I don't know what this is. What I was thinking of is this one where... Well, hold on. Maybe it is. Let me see. Yeah, no, this is not the one I was thinking of. I was thinking... You may be able to help me and tell me what this is called. I was thinking of one where it's like... How do I phrase this? It was this like lamb character, like a humanoid animal, it was just a boy, but he has like a lamb's hair and horns. What is that called? That's what I was thinking of. Does it have a similar name? I think it was like a comic series or something. And they're like housemates or something. It's just a bunch of supernatural people. All Saint Street. That's what I was thinking of when I saw that title. I don't know anything about that either. These are just words that I've seen floating around. I could not have a proper conversation about them, I'm afraid. Oop. I got a ping. Hold on. Let me respond to this really quick. Double check to be sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Okay. 1 sec. Okay. Awesome. Thank you for waiting. Yeah, I'm not personally familiar. I'm sure they are awesome stories, though. Okay, well, let's do this one at a time. I feel like I may have pushed it a little too far there. I pushed my greed too far when I underestimated just how much life essence it costs to make an eternal seed. But don't worry, we're gonna get so much more. In fact, let's take a look at these stores. What do we have here? We're gonna cut these pumpkins in half. We're gonna cut this corn in half. We're gonna cut this corn in half. We're gonna merge these corns together. We're actually gonna just sort these. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna cut this wheat in half and then merge these. Okay. We're gonna invent some. We are about to invent essence of life because you can exchange it. you can get it in exchange for the crops that you make. I just need to keep track of how much I'm using because it takes from the local storage too. 1, 2. And then we'll do 63 corn. And then we'll do 15 pumpkins. So now we should be able to make more eternal lettuce, right? That's what I need. So let's see. I need 1, 2, 3 for starters. But I want to make it all of these so that it's by 2. 1 by 2, like the rest of them. By the wheat. I'm honestly devastated that he went with buy the farm when buy the wheat was right there. But I appreciate the name. I think it's cute. Oh man, it takes so much stuff. Oh, we just need more lettuce then. Yeah, we're going to get that here in a moment. We'll get it, trust. Buy the farm. What a goofy man, that Ginjoka. And then we can exchange 1, 2, 3, 4. By the beet? Absolutely not. We do not support beets in this household. Like the root vegetable? No, thank you. No, thank you. That is not what it means. That is not what we stand for. I love this little well. It's so cute. What if the other members like beets? Well, that's their problem. That sounds like a them problem. Look at this. Oh my god, this is so satisfying. I'm on cloud 9 right now. I am the god of farming. Ah, there's like a comic based on Arepo. That's pretty cool. Again, I haven't thought about it in a long time, but I really, really loved it when I discovered it. I thought about it a lot. I particularly really liked it because it's a very specific, uncommon form of something that is common in other ways. I really, really love collaborative storytelling. That's something that has me really generally interested in Dungeons and Dragons, even though I basically have never played it properly. I've had like one joke one-shot campaign that was roleplay only. But other than that, I have no experience, right? I think this is a very interesting take on collaborative storytelling, right? And that it started as a prompt, and then one other person wrote a story based on that prompt, and then another person wrote a story based on that story. And I think specifically those two stories are seen as the most important ones that kind of define what the God of Arepo is, right? Yeah, now you know, if you did not know. So I need one more of these. Oh my god, it takes so much. I see why there was only, what, a few of them before. But it's okay. Now we'll be balling. I'm going to wait for the rest of the corn to finish so I can harvest at the same time, like the wheat. That'd be very satisfying. I'm so happy with the state of this little farm. Look at how it's come together. And they saw exactly what I was thinking with the roof, and that it would be like a rounded kind of roof. I'm so pleased. I'm absolutely cheesed right now. This is exactly what I was imagining. Because I think all that I left was literally like 2 layers on this side and none of the rest of it because I didn't have the time to finish. I had a really, really important deadline, self-imposed deadline that I had to meet that day. All right. I'm so cheesed. Look at this tree. When did this get here? Did they plant this? This has got to have an insane amount of wood. Can I climb this? I don't think I can climb any higher than that. Cornbread just fell out of my mouth. Did you hear that? I don't think I can climb any higher than that. And look, we got the coop. We cut the coop. I'm gonna cry. Oh, look at this little creature. Ah, I'm so happy. Oh my god. The drop scythe? Actually, adjust my glasses. I believe they're called scythe kicks. Oh, they have to be fed. How do I feed them? I was not there for this discovery. For my discovery. Black sheep that you see wanna control me. That's not how that part goes. It's and if you love me, will you love your everything too for me? I love that song. I think it's okay if I do the carrots asynchronously. We need to get some more carrot seeds going though. Let's see. I need 15. Oh my god. Holy moly. That is steep. Let's start saving every carrot we can. Oh my god. Feeding isn't finished yet in game. I see. I hear that you can't actually tame horses yet either, right? You can ride them, but you can't tame them. So you just have to find a way to hold them still. Can I ride you? Get back here. Millie mentioned. That's my favorite band. Did you know that? I love Millie. I love their music. I want to sing a Millie song so bad. I need to commission an instrumental. There are several that I've had on my mind. Just gonna have to wait for the right occasion to whip one out. Oh, do you have a problem? You are a threat to my livestock. Oh, you got a brother? Uh-oh. Oh, God. Well, that's awkward because... Where are you? Get back here! No rest for you! How dare you? But yeah, I don't know which one I would do first. I'm about to just, straight up, I'm about to just start casually commissioning instrumentals for karaoke streams, though. And just throw them into random set lists so that I have an excuse to use them. I'm just so used to borrowing them from pre-existing sources. So much corn. I'm the king of corn. Maybe we could go with crazy corn everywhere instead of wheat. Or we could divide it into sections. Got to figure this out. We could do like a clock face. This could be like a NIJISANJI inspired moment. So we could say like 10 to 12 o'clock can be wheat in a circle. And then, you know, like this region can be corn, and then this can be cabbage or lettuce rather. We could do that long term. Heard I've never watched High School Musical. It's true. I've never seen a single High School Musical movie. Though I do know the plot of the first High School Musical. Specifically because... are you familiar with forensic speech? I think we may have talked about this once. Are you familiar with forensic speech? That is something I did once. And I think we've talked... Yeah, I think we've talked about forensic speech once or twice. But anyway, I did forensic speech once. And basically to summarize what forensic speech is, if you did not have that, you would basically... It depends on the... How do I phrase it? It depends on the category that you do. Oh, we haven't talked about this? Have we not? Well, fun lore for you then. So basically, it depends on the category you do, but forensic speech is kind of like a complement to debate. I'm sure you may have at least had a debate team, right? When you were in school. So there's debate and there's forensic speech. In debate, you basically will get a topic and you have an allotted amount of time to prepare a stance on the topic that you're assigned and the stance that you're assigned. And you're like given that time to prepare your defense for the stance you're assigned or whatever. And then you go against somebody else who has the exact same thing going on, right? Forensic speech is adjacent to it in that rather than... it's so hard to explain. Rather than just debating with somebody, it's more like you... God, there's so much to explain about it, and I don't know where to go with it. So I'll start with this. I was mentioning earlier that it depends on the category, right? There are different categories of forensic speech. There is poetry. So for poetry forensic speech, what you do is you will take a bunch of poems that were written usually by different poets, and you'll compile them together with a shared theme. You memorize them, and you deliver them. And when you deliver it, you're scored on a basis of how well you deliver it, like in terms of speech and emotional intensity, and also just how well you've interpreted these texts. You know, have you strung them together in a way that enhances them and that makes sense? And things like that. And then there's also serious interpretation, where you will interpret a longer text, like a novel, for example, or a series of novels, if you choose to. And you will shorten that down to a 10-minute snippet. So this could be a novel that would ordinarily take hours and hours and hours and hours to read out loud, but you condense it to just 10 minutes or maybe 15 minutes, or I can't remember exactly what the limitation was. And honestly, it may be different from place to place, but you condense it, you memorize it so that you can read it, or not read it, so that you can deliver it without a script, without reading it out like in front of you. And then you deliver it the same as the poetry one I described, right? And you're scored similarly on a basis of how well you deliver the material and also just how well you've interpreted it. Did you get the important parts in? Did you pick something that makes you think about it, right? It is kind of like a form of acting, depending on the category, though. Because there's also prose, I think, is another category of forensic speech, where you literally just prepare a speech on a given topic. And I think it's kind of like debate in that you get the prompt when you're there, and then you're given an allotted amount of time to write that speech, and then you deliver it. Just different things like that, right? And then the one that I did was humorous interpretation. So for that, you take comedies and you condense them. It's the same as serious interpretation in terms of rules. It's just funny. It's not meant to be taken seriously. And yeah, you take a longer comedy work and you condense it to 10 minutes and then you deliver it. This is a lot of pretext and explanation that you don't really need, but I'm giving you anyway. All to say that the reason I know the plot of High School Musical, the first one, is because one of my opponents one year at Forensic Speech, what she actually did was she took the transcript of High School Musical, condensed it to 10 minutes, and delivered it as a forensic speech. And so I know the basic plot of High School Musical through that specific experience. And that's it. I don't know the plot of any of the other ones. I know some of the songs now because of Illyra. Yeah. Oh my gosh, did we get 300k on home? Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I'll have to get a little post ready for 333 whenever that comes around. I try to do it for numbers like that because I like it. It's my favorite number. Thank you for your support on the song. Let's see. Maybe we could make more wheat for now because we're balling in wheat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Holy moly. High School Musical as a comic storyline. I don't actually remember if this particular opponent scored very well. Yeah, I could not tell you that. I could not tell you whether they scored well for their interpretation, but that's what they did, and that's how I know it. But like this other guy, he just did a Weird Al Yankovic song, because you know he has some longer songs. He just did one of those. Didn't even condense or interpret it. Like did a Weird Al Yankovic song, and it was pretty good too. Live version of Home? Definitely someday. But here's the thing. I'm almost tempted to wait a really long time, because that'll make it even more special. But it will definitely happen someday. And I will tell you that that is because it was specifically written with a live performance in mind. When we were making it, we specifically prioritized what I would be able to do well live. High School Musical watch along. I think Alira's planning one of those. I told her that if she did one, I'd participate in it as long as I'm able to. I can't 100% promise it because there could be a chance that she commits to a date that I'm just not available on, especially if it's anytime soon, honestly, because I'm grappling with my calendar lately. My calendar's got hands. It's been rough. Is this the same kind of grass? Let's find out. Yeah, I do plan to join. Oh my god. It's not the same kind of grass. And now I've got dirt. So I need to get a bunch of fiber. Let you know who my favorite character is. Oh, I didn't tell you this part. I've not seen a single High School Musical movie, but I have seen one of the adjacent spin-off movies by random chance. I'm trying to remember when this was. I remember I was little. Like really, really little. I did not have access to cable when I was a kid. Like I did not have television. Anything that I watched was on VHS, which is a part of the reason why I do not know a lot of these things, because I think the experience of a lot of things like High School Musical was kind of dependent on having access to TV. You have to have a Disney Channel. But there was a time when I was visiting my grandma, and she had TV. So if I wanted to watch TV, it had to be at my grandma's house. I was visiting her, and there was this movie on where... Which character is it from High School Musical? And she's like super prissy, and I think privileged and rich, and low-key kind of annoying. But also, like, she's a diva. Sharpay, right? Yeah. There was a movie where she goes to, I think she went to NYC. She went to some big city with her dog for a dog contest. And the actor that played the little brother in Good Luck Charlie, he was also a character in that. And they basically would have to do synchronized dance routines with their dogs. I've seen that movie. I have seen that movie. But it's the only one that I've seen. Disrespect your queen. Oh, I didn't mean that. She's a diva, and she knew exactly what she was there for, and she was doing that. I don't know. It's actually one of my... I have like a love-hate relationship with this specific character archetype in fiction, where they're like, you know, they're super spoiled. Because in general, I find that kind of personality very annoying. I think people in that position can be very out of touch and difficult to work with. And by work with, I mean like know, you know, difficult to know. But I also like the aura, you know, of like a really stylish character who has to dress really nice everywhere they go and has to be the most beautiful person in the Walmart. So I'm kind of like on... I'm on a... What is the word? I'm 50-50. Oh, she's the villain in High School Musical? I didn't know that. Well, that tracks. Yeah, see, like, Jacinth would normally annoy me. But she does it in such a specific way. Like Jacinth from Pokemon Legends Z to A. She does it in such a specific way that I like it. I think it's specifically in this setting of like, maybe this is what it is. When it's in a high school setting, which, you know, filmmakers cannot resist the temptation of making their cast like, you know, just a cast of grown adults playing 16 and 17-year-olds. They just can't resist it. They got to make everything in high school, even though they could do the exact same story in college. But that's another rabbit hole to talk about. They just can't resist any of that. But I think it's specifically the spoiled, pampered, pompous, rich kid archetype that gets me, rather than just spoiled, pampered, pompous, rich person, I guess. Maybe that's the difference. I'm projecting my own biases against these fictional characters. Is Sharpay a hard worker? I don't know. I don't know her story, so it's not my place to speak on it. Shame on me for being reductive. I don't know what her deal is. Now, how much does it take to make these turnips? Because that's what I really want. That'd be nice. And some cauliflower. We can make cotton. Can that be used to make clothes or something? Potatoes? We gotta upgrade this workbench. Oh my god, here's what we really need. We need chili seeds. Let's craft. You know what? I bet we could get all 35 if we're calculated about it. Let's do 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I'll leave the sunflower. No, I won't. I'll relocate this. Wait, you plant the sunflowers? Now I feel bad. I collected like 1 billion sunflowers before. I thought you just placed them. I was gonna relocate the sunflower somewhere else. Wait. Is it because the sunflower is placed on here? Hold on, now I'm learning. I'm learning things. I'm gonna learn something. Hold on. Let's try this on a dandelion. Oh! I get it! It's not about where you place it, it's about how you pick it up. So you can either place it or you can break it. That's what just happened. I see. I've learned. It's okay. I'll replace that sunflower. He would understand. But it's okay, because he'll never have to find out, right? You won't tell on me by putting this on Twitter and getting it on his For You page. You would never do such a thing to me, would you? As I speak it, it's probably already done, honestly. That's just the way this game works. Let's do the other one too. 4, 6, 8, 12, 13. We're gonna get that upgrade. Oh wait, I counted that wrong. Oops. He finds tweets with 0 likes. That just happens sometimes. I have told you, and I stand by this. Most of the tweets that I see are usually only after they hit like the 100 like territory. But I do sometimes see random tweets that are under 30. It just happens. It's because I interact with my tags regularly. So if you also interact with my tags regularly, like if you like fan art, it will just naturally tell me that I want to see your stuff. That's just how Twitter works. But don't worry, I will never. I usually will never let you know that I've seen it. And I doubt that I see everything, right? I only see some of it, I think. Though it's hard to say. We'll do a straight row in between these. Oh, no, wait. That's not how that works. Because these won't be watered. I can just water it myself. Because these are not meant to be long-term plots. These are just for me to get the upgrade going. I need to leave this farm better than I found it. I think I might even be so crazy as to... I think I can tolerate this if it's like this. No, I can't. I want to break it. I can't look at it. Do I like poetry? I love poetry. I used to write it a lot. I don't really write poetry anymore. But I'm trying to decide if this is too real or not. It is probably a good thing that I do not write poetry anymore. Because for me, writing poetry was always something I did to process sad feelings. So the fact that I don't really write anymore is a sign that I just generally don't need to write. You know what I mean? Poetry specifically was always like a sadness writing style thing for me. I do really love more like happy, romantic, uplifting poetry as well. But I'd never personally got into writing that as much. I would write poetry more for myself whenever I was going through it. Especially in my previous job. My notes app got filled whenever I was waiting for a shoot. These days, any writing I do is more like short stories and stuff. And that's more of a happy thing for me. We're kind of balling. What else do we need for this upgrade? Greater essence of life. Oh my god. So we need to condense these. That's 400 essence of life to get to tier 6. I guess we don't urgently need tier 6, but I want tier 6. I want these eternal tomato seeds. I want these eternal chili seeds. What I really want is the potato sprout, and that's tier 7. And to get to tier 7, we need to clear tier 6. Yeah, I think poetry is really nice. Something somebody asked me about during meet and greet. It's so funny because sometimes questions can be difficult in meet and greet. I love question and answer all the time. And that's honestly one of the better ways to handle meet and greet in my opinion. But I sometimes struggle to think of an answer quickly. And there's this pressure because I don't want to waste their limited time. Yeah, I personally recommend, or I guess I personally like. I like Walt Whitman, I like Edgar Allan Poe, and I like Oscar Wilde. Those three were my favorites when I was like more of a poetry reader. I don't really read any these days though. I'm washed. I need to wait for the ones that are not harvestable to be harvestable so I can do them all at the same time. I'm noticing that some of these eternal seeds grow faster than the others, and I'm wondering what the deal is with that. What causes that? Yeah, I like poets who write about macabre stuff, like really dark and gritty and low-key depressing. And I also like when they write about beautiful stuff and when they celebrate things like life and also death. Favorite Edgar Allan Poe? I may have shared this before. It may have been in a members only though. I think my favorite has probably always been The Mask of the Red Death. Specifically because I like the form of world building that you see here, and I really, really love this specific type of storytelling where it's done through spatial scenery rather than through a sequence of events. So the Mask of the Red Death is one of my favorite pieces of writing ever, actually. I don't know if you've ever read that one. And I almost don't want to spoil it by describing what makes it so cool. So what I'll say instead, rather than telling the story of the Mask of the Red Death, is I will say that in the Mask of the Red Death, you hear about a story through the place that it happens in, basically. Like it's basically a piece of writing that describes like a chamber, or like a sequence of chambers. It describes a place where something is happening. And it uses a lot of color to describe these things, and it's just really, really interesting. Know any from memory? One poem I can recite in full from memory is Jabberwocky. If I remember correctly. Maybe I can't do it from memory. Let's see. 'Twas brillig and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borographs and the mome raths outgrabe. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the teeth that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the Jubjub bird and shun the frumious bandersnatch. Or no, wait. I skipped a line, I think. Hold on. 'Twas brillig and the slithy toves did gyre, mimsy were the borographs and the mome raths outgrabe. No, that was right, right? It goes straight into the warning from the father. And as an uffish thought he stood, the Jabberwock with eyes of flame came whiffling through the tulgey wood and burbled as it came. And then... what comes after that? I've mixed up the order is the thing. Scratching my head. I can't remember. I guess I can't remember that one in full. He took his Vorpal sword in hand. No. I can't remember. I can't remember. I could remember a decent amount of the Raven, too, at one point. Yeah, right. I knew I was missing something. There was something about the sword. The Vorpal sword. What's it called? This one in particular is called Jabberwocky. No, do not applaud. I didn't get it. I didn't get all of it. I only remembered little pieces of it. Honestly, I'd probably have an easier time if I remembered the one classical adjacent, not classical. This would not be true classical, I think, because it came later, but the piece that I studied at one point. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the teeth that bite, the claws that catch. It's a pretty banger. I think that's one of the more fun choral pieces that you can hear. I don't even remember all of that one, though. I remember, and burbled as it came! Wah! Oh my gosh. I kind of want to plant more. I kind of want to do more peppers just to fill this out, but it's already almost grown. So I guess not. Yeah, Jabberwocky is basically this poem. It's a nonsense poem, but it does tell a coherent story about this monster called the Jabberwock, which is made by the same author of Alice Through the Looking Glass, Alice in Wonderland. Lewis Carroll, right? I forget author names sometimes. I'm really bad at that. They're growing, my tomatoes! Yeah, basically it tells the story of a monster and this guy who kills it. And something really interesting, particularly interesting about Jabberwocky that makes it stand out a bit among more well-known poems and stories is that this guy is unabashedly inventing words. And you just don't see that very much, especially these days. There was a time when you saw it a lot. Like, there's a number of big words that Shakespeare invented just for his works. And you figure out kind of what they mean through context, and then people start using them because they've heard them and are like, oh, I kind of like that word. But yeah, he invented a lot of these words. They did not originally mean anything. Like, well, hold on. The frumious bandersnatch. So bandersnatch is another creature that he's invented, but frumious is a word that he's using to describe it. So based on context, you know, they're talking about scary things that you should beware, you know. Beware the jub bird and shun the frumious bandersnatch. So frumious kind of sounds like dangerous, right? I don't actually know. I think there is a decided definition for all of these words, but I don't know any of them. I just go by vibes. I think frumious means dangerous or like terrible, like kind of gruesome, intimidating. Frumious. And then there's like, 'twas brillig and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. None of those words were in the Bible. When I hear it, I think brillig makes me think like it's a specific time of day, probably the early morning. It was brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. I think toves are actually another animal, but they're not like a monstrous animal. They're more of a gentle one. They're more like they're just more like a peaceful creature, I think. Gyre and gimble in the wave. I don't know. Is that English? It's all made up. It's a nonsense poem. So a lot of the things he says in it are not actually real words that existed before he used them. 'Twas brillig and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. Ooh, can I make my carrot seeds yet? Let's see. I need 15 for one. Oh my god, that's gonna take forever. We're balling on tomatoes though. Look at this. Oh, they're not all done yet. Oopsie. They'll be finished soon, right? My peppers! Oh my god. Liking supers is a new meta. I don't know. I've thought about it a bunch. And I've come to the conclusion that this is a way to show that I do see it and I am reading it. Because I always am. But I realize that because I don't always acknowledge it, it can kind of give the impression that I'm just not looking. So this is a way that I can continue with my usual preference of not letting a super derail a conversation that we're having, but still reading it. Yeah, I wouldn't consider it a meta. It's just more like the way that I've decided to handle it now. Yeah. Wait, I made way more tomatoes than I meant to. We could take some of these. Let's see. We can use up to 23 of them for other purposes. Oh, we can't even exchange these yet for Essence of Life because we're not upgraded yet. That's what I was thinking we'd use it for, because we need a lot of it. We need 400. And right now we got almost, we're over halfway there. And we can't make the Eternal Seeds yet. I guess I might as well just make more tomatoes. Anyway, I think my peppers are done. We can drop these into the upgrade pile. Favorite book? I don't really read these days, unfortunately, and I really miss when I did, and I really want to get back to it. I've been thinking about that a lot lately, just this last year in general, because like I said, I used to read a lot. I don't read much as an adult now, but when I was a kid, I was such a bookworm, it was insane. Oh, I think I can make this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I just need Darkwood log. So we have to go on a mission for Darkwood log. I could make regular carrot seeds. I didn't process that at all. That'd make this so much faster. Sometimes I just skip very basic stuff. Yeah, I used to read like crazy. I was reading all the time when I was a kid. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. La, da, 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 da. Anyway, as far as favorite books go, though, I really loved. There was one I read when I was a little kid. I think it was called Pathfinder. The idea for that one was that it might not be called Pathfinder. I might be misremembering what the name of it was, but I can remember the story. I can't remember the name of the author, unfortunately. But it was a story where there's this guy who has this special ability where he can see a path that things have taken and people have taken, living things. In the beginning, it's demonstrated he uses it when he's hunting with somebody. But as the story progresses, he uses this ability to find a human person. He basically has this ability to see where people have gone. And he can see kind of like an after image after somebody has left. I really liked that one when I was a kid. I also really, really like... It is called Pathfinder? Okay, thank goodness. I thought that was what it was called, but it's been so long. I wasn't actually sure. I also really liked Peter Pan. As far as classic novels go, I really, really loved Peter Pan. I really, really liked that. I don't know if I ever told you this. I think I may have. There was a pool of water, because I was a very like free range kid when I was a little kid. They let me just kind of go out and do whatever I wanted. But usually what that looks like is, you know, a kid that will just go walk. They'll just walk to their friend's house, or they'll bike to their friend's house or whatever. But I lived in the middle of the woods. I lived in a very forested area. So for me, that basically just meant that I was playing around in the dirt with sticks and stuff in the woods. And there was this body of water that I loved to play with, and that I loved walking there. It was so like beautiful, and I just had fun like splashing around in it. But after reading Peter Pan when I was a kid, I refused to do it anymore, because I was convinced that the mermaids from Peter Pan were in that body of water and that they wanted to kidnap me. I was convinced that they lived in that little stream. It's so funny. That was my Slender Man. I was also convinced that he lived in the forest outside my house, by the way. Like, I knew for fact that he lived in the forest outside my house. So I was scared to go play in it for a while. Yeah. It's interesting how things like fiction can taint these things. Okay, I need to go on a quest for Darkwood log. I need to... Honestly, I bet they're probably balling in resources enough that I could just use the iron that they have to make a proper axe that would last longer. Let's see how much they have before I assume, though. Oh my god. Look at all this stuff. Okay. Yeah, they got 40 iron. I could borrow just a little bit. Just a little bit. Is it this one? How much? I'll pay it back someday. Okay. Let's go get some Darkwood logs. Where would we find those? Did I scare my siblings with it? No, I wasn't, me and my family did have a big scare culture kind of experience. Especially my dad, he loved to scare us. He would tell us scary stories all the time whenever the setting allowed for it to actually feel scary. And my siblings liked to do it sometimes, but I didn't really participate as much in that. I messed with my siblings in different ways usually, rather than scaring with them. Rather than scare them, I would I would convince them to do things. I liked to use them. I was evil. I was genuinely a terrible kid, I think. Like, high-key, I was not a good kid. I was well-behaved in a sense, but I was... How do I phrase this? I was a dream kid for adults. I hope this is Darkwood, by the way. Wait, it'll tell me, right? Hardwood. Did it want hardwood or darkwood? I think it was darkwood. Let's borrow one of these. Yeah, I was a dream for adults, but for other kids, I was a nightmare. God, that tree is huge. Yeah, emphasis on for adults. So, like, I was really well behaved, especially when I was, you know, when I was in clear view of an adult, because I thought that... How do I phrase this? I thought that being a good person meant not getting in trouble. So I was very well behaved. I was very much like a teacher's pet archetype. I got good grades. I was well spoken. I was well read. But when it was just me and my siblings, I would like, I'd basically get them in trouble for me, honestly. I think I've shared this anecdote before. My parents loved having sweets and stuff in the house. I think my mom especially has a sweet tooth just as much as I do. And it was a problem because, you know, we were children and we would want to sneak in and get the sweets and eat them. But we weren't supposed to. And so there was actually a point where they got a lockbox specifically for the sweets and cakes and stuff so that we couldn't steal it without permission. We had to ask to have the sweets. We couldn't just go and get them. And it took me a long time, but I dedicated myself to not mastering, but I guess just slowly experimenting until I figured out exactly what the combination was. And eventually I did find it. I did, in fact, figure out the combination to that lockbox. And so I was able to, I was eventually able to unlock it. But it wasn't as simple as me doing it, because I could have been caught. What I would do instead is late at night, when everybody was supposed to be sleeping, I would nudge my siblings awake. I would nudge whichever one I was choosing to mess with that day. And I would be like, hey, number 2. If you go to the lockbox and put in this code and bring back 5 wrapped cakes, I'll let you have one of them. And they would do it every time. And then, whenever they got caught, which they would because they were loud and they were not very graceful, they would be like, oh, but Kaelix told me to. I'd be like, what? No, I didn't do that. They're just trying to get me in trouble. Yeah, I was terrible. I was terrible. I was a terrible big brother when we were all little. I think as we grew, I became a lot more dependable. I had to handle a lot of responsibilities around the house, a lot more chores because I was the oldest. But when we were all just kids, oh, I was terrible. I was terrible. I had the selfishness of any other child my age, but I had the intellect of a child a little bit older than me. Low-key, I kind of peaked. Is this also Ash? They're all Ash, I swear. I hate this. I hate Ash. Can you leave me alone? Where are the other ones? I need Darkwood. Oh, that's a spider. I'm scared. I'm not scared of spiders, actually. I love spiders, but I'm scared of getting poisoned in this game. It's all Ash. I swear. What's this? Is this beech? Oak. What is oak? You know what? I'm just going to try hardwood. Oh, wait. Maybe these are darkwood. These look very dark. This blue biome. Wait, this is beautiful. My siblings forgive me? Well, I mean, we're all grown now. It's all in the past. I hope. Huh. Wonder what happened here. I shouldn't take that tree. Yeah, I hope. I doubt they hold a grudge over that now. We're all grown now. Mostly. Oh god. Holy moly. Oh. Oh my gosh. Wait, you can't always guard. Seems like there's a limitation to when you can guard. Uh-oh. Oh god. I gotta get out of here. Ah! Is he still chasing me? Can I eat these mushrooms? Nope. Do I have any food? I guess we're eating raw meat today. I just came for wood. I just want wood, okay? I just want hardwood. It should not be this hard. Pun unintended. That's not even a pun. It's more like a play on words. Let's see. How about you? What are you? Azure. That's not even dark. It's just blue. I'm just gonna see if any of these work. We're getting out of here. Where's the big tree? That's my beacon home. Oh my god, we traveled so far. I thought we went in a different direction. 2 out of 10. It wasn't even intentional. Don't score it. Holy moly. My back is killing me, by the way. Ouchie, 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 ouchie. Wah, wah, wah. And then I'm normal. Except I'm not. Holy moly. Okay. I'm gonna have a sip of my tea. If you've got a beverage on hand, please have a sip. Did I sleep wrong? Yes. That's absolutely what happened. I'm actually very particular about trying to have good posture. Because I'm on the taller side, I'm actually kind of predisposed to subconsciously having terrible posture. It's just this thing about being tall where you want to lower yourself to other people and other things. Oh wait, I've got a ton of berries, don't I? Oh, I've got exactly 1 berry. 2 berries. This should help a little bit. But yeah, I'm pretty particular about my posture normally. So I don't actually deal with back pain as often as I did when I was younger. Because when I was younger, oh my god, it was terrible. I had the worst back pain ever. This is nice. Look at this. Look at your fancy door. But yeah, no, I think I just slept in a weird position. I woke up feeling miserable. I'm short and have bad posture. Bean soup theory. Everybody can have bad posture, but people on the taller side are more likely to have bad posture, I think. Cedar. Oh, so I need to go to like a snowy biome. Oh my god. It's so far north. Is there another one anywhere? Oh man. I guess we're gonna have to go north. Well, we can do a... Hold on. Let's take inventory really quick. Oh, whoops. I did the wrong thing. Excuse me. Ah, man, there's the sneeze from earlier. Elaborate on bean soup theory. Oh, okay. So this is very much a TikTok thing. There's this... There are a couple phenomena for me to explain here. So, on TikTok, blank theory is just a very common thing for people to say. When it's not actually like a legitimate thing, it's just an idea that people are discussing on TikTok. But bean soup theory in particular is probably the biggest one. Wait, I wonder if they just have Darkwood here that I could borrow. So bean soup theory comes from this video where this lady was sharing... This is all hardwood. This lady was sharing a recipe for bean soup. And it's a delicious, beautiful recipe for bean soup. And the comment section was filled with people saying like, what if I don't like beans? When it's literally a bean soup recipe. So like, what are you going to sub in for the beans? That's the main ingredient. You know what I mean? So bean soup theory is basically what you call it when somebody is talking about something and you just gotta come in and make it about you. you gotta be like, well, this is how I experience the world. So what about me? I think it's funny and I don't actually mind it. And I'm actually very guilty of it a lot of the time. But that is what it means. If you ever see somebody say bean soup theory, they are calling somebody out for making it about them. Is that not the theory? Wait, is that not how bean soup theory works? Do I not understand bean soup theory? Can you correct me? Fact check? Let's see. Define bean soup theory minus AI. I thought I knew what it meant. Let's see. The term originates from a controversy around comments on a bean soup recipe video asking for a version of the recipe without beans. It has been used to show the prevalence of egocentrism on social media. Oh, so actually I cooked, and I just got one guide. I point and laugh. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have another sip of my tea. I'm low-key kind of scared to venture to the north. I don't know if I can handle it. I'm gonna try my best though. All right, let's see. We can put on some copper armor. Oh wait. Okay, greaves, gauntlets, cuirass. These greaves are not as damaged, so I'll actually save them for when these are more damaged. Oh, I can look at the memories. All right, am I prepared? Am I going to survive? Yes or no? It's a long way, and it looks like there's a really steep wall here to climb. But I figured that's where I'm going to find something like cedar. And I bet these are cedar on the map. They look like triangular. Or like diamond-shaped, rather. And what are these trees? They got holes in them. Sorry if you got that phobia of holes. Take some food. Oh, that'd be smart. Oops. That would indeed be wise. Oh, and I need to do a full harvest. I forgot I was literally going to do a full harvest before I left. I just got distracted talking about bean soup theory. Holy moly. Trypophobia. Do you have trypophobia? Yes or no? I used to have a very mean stance on trypophobia, but I've learned to be more open. Yes, no. Mixed bag. It's about what I expected. What was my stance? My stance was that it was made up. But now I've met so many people who say they have it that I've learned to just not have an opinion. So if you are weird about holes, then I support you in your weirdness about holes. But if you had met me 5 years ago, I would have made fun of you. And I don't like that. I think it's better to just take people at their word. Why? Just because so many people would say it. And because egocentrism on the internet, right? I had to make it about me, and I don't have that problem. So I was like, if I don't have that problem, then how could somebody else possibly have this problem? This is obviously made up. When that's not how the world works at all. Yeah, I thought it was similar to people who, and I still think this one, I thought it was the same as people who say that they hate the word moist. I thought it was just a thing that people said. Yes, you said exactly the same thing. We just had a brain cell moment. I used to think it was one of those things. And I still think that about moist. I don't think anybody has a legitimate issue with the word moist. I think they just like saying that they're weird about the word moist. I stand by that one. That opinion remains. That one, I'm going to carry that one with me to my grave. Nobody is actually weird about the word moist. It's just, it's like a quirky thing to be like, stop saying moist around me. I stand by that. I stand by that one. I will stand by that forever. Yeah, right. See, when I hear moist, I think of like a delicious cake. You want cake to be moist, right? It's good. Moist, 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 moist. Haha. I don't know. I will never understand it. Can I eat corn? Okay, this is not a very sustainable thing. We can clean up the number this way. I need to... How much does this restore? This is not very sustainable either. I need to cook something. Oh, look, we got the little... this is so cute. Okay, I figure that the cooking stuff is at the tavern. Yeah, like a nice moist lava cake. Mmm. People who say they don't have any inner monologue or images. Now that, I don't think it's a made up thing. That's just a difference in brains for sure, right? We got little dorm rooms. That's so cute. Oh my god. That's so precious. Wait, are these all rooms that people are staying in? Oh my god, I could claim one of these, I bet. I'm gonna wait till he's here to show me it though. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I think when it comes to the thinking thing, that's just the way that people are. Brains are very complicated, so it makes sense that not everybody thinks the same way, and that, like, you know, that not everybody sees the same thing in their head. Okay, I'm gonna do, let's see, which one has the most? Looks like the fruit skewer is the most sustainable one to make based on the, actually no, the vegetable skewer. I'm gonna make 20 of these. Because that seems to be the most sustainable. Oh, wait. Oh, so I wanted to see the animation, but it seems like it cancels it when I step away from it. Yeah, it seems like based on the availability of each ingredient, that's the most sustainable one for me to do right now. Oh, whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait, wrong one. Oops. I guess we'll have 4 mushroom skewers as well. And we're going to survive. We're going to make it home. When I read a book, do I hear a voice reading it in my head? Is it my voice or someone else's? So when I read a book, the narrator is usually me in my head. It's usually my voice. And then the other characters, I kind of assign them voices. And what's kind of funny is sometimes if a character reminds me of somebody I know, I will imagine that person's voice. And I actually have this pretty nifty ability. I'll explain how it becomes nifty in a minute, but I can imagine anybody's voice saying anything. Like anybody I know. Even anybody I don't know. Like I could imagine Ariana Grande saying something that she's never said and will never say. Like I could imagine Finn Wolfhard saying pizza on pineapple 10 times right now. I'm hearing it. Like it's in my head. And where this gets useful is that I can also hear anybody who sings. I can hear them sing something that they've never sung before. Within reason. There are some limitations. For example, I would struggle a little bit if I tried to hear somebody who sings in one language. If I tried to imagine them singing another language, that's a little difficult. But otherwise, I can imagine somebody singing something that they've never sung before. And where this gets useful is when I am doing scripting and line distribution in group songs, especially for by the beat. Because I tend to take the lead on most of the organization for any music stuff that we've done so far. Whenever we have like a live event, things like that, I just naturally fall into that spot of taking care of most of the scripting and everything. And when I do it, I do actually hear them in my head singing the line. And that's how I'm able to ensure that it sounds good without actually having them sample it for me. Is that the default? I don't know, because I've brought this up, and I find that not everybody can actually do this. Yeah, I find that whenever I've explained this to people in the past, some people have been very surprised. They're like, oh man, I wish I could do that. That'd be so convenient. Yeah, that is how I personally do line distributions. I go through it. What I do is I will listen to the song with the instrumental. And in my brain, I will kind of sing it as each person one at a time. So in the context of by the beat, I'll run through it in my head 3 times, and then I'll sing it myself a 4th time. And I keep a memory of like, okay, which ones did they eat? What was the best for each person? And then I keep that in my mind. And then I just try to go through on a basis of even distribution as much as I can get it. I think we've made it. Now, how are we going to get up there? Looks kind of like staircases, actually. I should be able to just climb up. Do I ever listen to a song and act out a scene in the song? I don't do that as much these days, but I did it a lot when I was a little kid. Oh my god. I remember my classmates used to make fun of me so bad for this, but when I was a kid, I was pretty much the only kid in class with an MP3 player. What are you doing here? What's your story? I was pretty much the only kid in class with an MP3 player. Everybody else had like iPhones and stuff. But my dad did not want me to have a smartphone. So I had an MP3 player, and he only put specific songs on it. He put songs from the 80s on it, and he put Kids Bop covers of more recent songs, not the actual versions. And whenever I would listen to those songs, I would imagine cinematic videos in my brain. I remember I this is genuinely the goofiest thing in the world. I remember I would imagine, in particular, I would listen to the Kids Bop versions of Bad Romance was one of them. I don't remember what the other one's called, but it was the one that goes like, I say, hey, na 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 na, I'll be back on the way. Seems like everywhere I go, the more I see, the less I know. I would listen to those two songs in particular, and I would imagine a cinematic music video between me and my crush at the time. Is this like a normal experience? How many of these did I need? Okay, wait, this is fir. This isn't spruce. How far do I have to freaking go for spruce? Are you spruce? Are these spruce? Are these big ones spruce? Hold on. Let's see. Are you Darkwood? Redwood. This is redwood. Where is the freaking spruce? Do I have to go further north? Oh my god! Where's the spruce? Which one is spruce? Are you spruce? What are you? You're fir. I need spruce. What is your problem? Oh my god, they're kind of strong. Okay, hold on. We're pulling out some skewers. I'm not even looking for spruce. I'm looking for cedar. I've lost the plot. I'm just cooked no matter what. Like there's no point. Okay, hold on. Cedar. Hard to say just by looking at them, but I personally would place a cedar in a place like this, like a snowy place. Well, it's definitely not here in this forest. So there are some trees that look different than the other ones. Maybe I need to find one of those. Hold on. Which one are the... What are these bigger... Oh my god. Can you leave me alone? All right, this one looks different. What are you? Where's the rest of you? I'm haunted by the freaking ash. I cannot stand ash. No more ash. Okay. Let's see. Where's the rest? Maybe if we go past that freaking glacier. Cedar. Cedar. I need cedar. That's tempting, but I'm scared. This is supposed to be a quick one and done easy trip there and back. Well, hold on. These look kind of different. Maybe it's here. No, these are more of the redwood. I can tell because it looks just like this one. But there are some trees sprinkled in between the redwoods that are a different color. What in God's name is that? Oh my god. This game is scary. You feel like with my personality, I was popular with girls back in school? At the time that I was imagining music videos, no, not at all. I did not actually have friends in school until I was in late middle school, early high school. Those are my first friendships that I ever had. But when I was in high school, I would not consider myself to be super popular, but I think I have actually shared at one point in a group discussion with the boys. But I did actually receive a few confessions over text message. What changed? I just kind of became better socialized, I guess. I think when I was younger, I wasn't really invested in getting to know people. I was more content with my own company. So I wouldn't really bother. I'll bet this will be easier to scale if I go over the top instead of around the edges. Oh, we've reached the middle of freaking nowhere. This is a nightmare. But yeah, as time... Good night. Do you know the saying about how to behave on a basis of, like, what kind of bear you're being pursued by? The saying goes, if it's brown, lie down. If it's black, fight back. If it's white, good night. That is to say, like, there are specific species of bear where you're going to be safer if you try to look really big and scary and you yell and cause a scene. There are others where you should just pretend that you're dead so that it doesn't want to mess with you. Oh my god. I should have brought ladders. Oh, but I could jump into the water, I bet. Haha. And then if you see a polar bear, it's just over. There's nothing you could do about polar bears. There's no... Whoa! There's no strategy for dealing with polar bears because they are just so, you know, if they see a living thing that they can eat, they're going to go straight for it no matter what. You can't stop them. So the saying is, if it's brown, lie down. Saying is, if it's brown, lie down. The saying is, if it's brown, lie down. If it's black, fight back. And if it's white, good night. Please be cedar. It's all freaking fur. Where is the cedar? This place is a nightmare. I don't want to be here anymore. Okay, hold on. What is this? Oh. He's shooting at me. Did you see that? Oh my god. I'm just trying to find wood to upgrade my farm. I'm about to leave this plane of existence. I just wanted a cozy little stream. I just wanted to be cozy and bless a farm while my back hurts. It's my birthday and my back hurts, and you're gonna be mean to me like this. I'm just a little guy, and it's my birthday, and my back really hurts. Maybe this one is cedar. It's all fur. Where is the cedar? Oh my god, leave me alone! Ah! Oh my god. Okay. Rate my aura. Was that cool? I would have kept running normally, but then I saw the wheat. And my instincts activated. Imagine it's close to the base. I'll kill something. I'm gonna kill again. Cedar is like these trees. They look just like cedars, right? Okay, hold on. So it's not the white ones. It's not the green ones. It's not the darker, like, gallbladder green ones. It's not... They all look the same. I don't... Well... My aura's in the negatives. What? But I took those guys out. That was so cool, right? I just muted to burp. You're welcome. Gallbladder. Did you know that the gallbladder is green? It's the gallbladder, right? Am I misremembering my human organs? No, there are so many of them. They're everywhere. Where am I supposed to go? Ah! Frost skeleton mage. Ah! Oh my god. Ah! This place is a nightmare. Now I know I'm never making my wintry cabin. I actually considered that at one point. I think having a cabin in a snowy biome is really cozy and nice, but this place is just filled with monsters. This place is a nightmare to deal with. You can't bring me back. Oh my god. Incandescent skeleton mage. I still wonder. I wonder if they found him. I want to take them there. I specifically want to take Wilson there. My Discord zaddy Wilson. I want to take him to the incandescent skeleton mage and watch him fight it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ah! Ah! Ha ha ha. Oh, it's a tower. There's a tower in the distance. Can I make this? I'm scared. Wait, where was that tower? There was a tower in the distance, but I lost it. There it is. What am I heading towards? Is this a safe place? Can I stay here? Who lives here? Oh, it seems it's abandoned. Are you friendly? He has scary eyes. I don't think he's friendly. I think we should leave this place immediately. Wait! The leaves on these trees are higher than the other ones. Are these cedar? Oh! I just came for my wood. I just want wood, okay? Cedar! What? Where? Where? Oh, you're an archer. Oh, and you're sleepy. Haha. Okay. We found what we came for. What is fighting me? What is that? Oh my god, there's so much stuff out here. I'm so overwhelmed. Alright, here's my cedar. I'm just gonna totally deforest this place. I never want to come back here. I would normally preserve the local fauna so that it can continue to regrow, but I'm not leaving a single tree behind. I'm taking it all. I don't care. I don't give a single gaff. That stands for give a freak. This nightmare. Oh, there was a poisonous bush. Oh, it's like poison ivy. Thank you. I'm getting flashbacks to that thing that I'm not supposed to talk about. That I can't help but bring up anyway. I feel like I've been doing pretty good about that though, haven't I? Okay, let's remember. This is where the cedar trees grow. That sounds like the name of a novel. This is where the cedar trees grow. My home is so far away, I can't even see it on the map anymore. All right, let's go home. Yeah, it reminded me of in VCraft when I was clearing away the ruins because, or not clearing away, but like clearing up the poison ivy on the ruins. Because you would take 2 steps and you'd start taking poison damage. Because the place was covered in poison ivy when I found it. I kind of miss it lately. but not too much. Have another skewer. Have another skewer. All right, we should survive the trek home. Custom marker. I guess I could, but the thing is, when I'm this far out on the map, I still wouldn't be able to see it. See, I can just barely see it in the distance. The map is not like Minecraft. Because in Minecraft, your map will render everywhere that you've seen. In this game, it renders just a wide circle around wherever you are right now. Are we going through the snow biome again? No, personally, I hope to avoid it all the way back. If I can get away with it, I want to find another way home without touching the snow biome ever again. I will never go back. You cannot make me go back. Good to still have the marker. I guess that's true. I did make one at one point about the incandescent skeleton mage, but it disappeared after a while, so I don't think those markers are permanent. So I think it's better to rely on these markers. The ones that show up when you make a bed. Is that where home is? I'm so confused. Let's just keep heading south. We'll find it eventually. I may be lost, yeah. But if I keep heading south, eventually I'll find it, right? What was that sound? I keep hearing this scary, like, clink. I keep hearing that sound. What does that mean? That's so frightening. All right. We've cleared the redwood forest. I'm so sick. All this work for one specific type of wood. Ah, it appears I have discovered a village of some sort. Is it friendly? Can I stay here or am I going to be harassed? Whoa, I'm being harassed. Ah! Okay, I think I'm getting close to home. I see the temples on my viewfinder. Oh my god. Everybody wants a piece of me. They all want my cookie. Okay. I found home. It is to the southeast. Can I make this jump? That was so close. That would have been terrible. I think that would have been the end if I landed on the ground. Oh man. See, I just love taking risks. I'm a daredevil. I'm gonna have another sip of my tea. Feel free to have a sip as well if you've got a beverage. Trying to act cool? I don't have to act cool. I just am cool. I'm cool in most things that I do. I'm just awesome like that, all right? It's not my fault. I'm just super awesome and cool. I love me. All right. Ooh, no. Holy moly. Cardboard. Okay. Now you've done it. This is what you get. I'm sick. I what the heck? What is wrong with you? Why? I don't get you at all. Not even a little bit. I just don't understand. I just don't understand. I don't, you talk about his humor, you talk about his joke. He's not telling any jokes. He's not saying anything. He's not a yapper. He's just like a flapper. He's just flapping around in the wind. Bring him back. You hate me that bad. Oh my God. All right, here, hold on. We can share the stage, all right? We can share the stage. That's okay, right? Are you okay with that? We could coexist. You like the left one. Oh my God, you actually don't like me. Okay, well, here. I'll just stay like this again, I guess. Come on, you cannot be satisfied by this. You cannot be like there's nothing there's literally again, it is an absence of content. There's no commentary. There's nothing. He's just a cardboard cutout. Like there's nothing for you to do with this. I just don't understand. Interrupted his story. He wasn't even talking. He can't speak. I don't understand you at all. All right. We have officially upgraded. We've upgraded the bench to tier 7. That was the first of my blessings on this farm because I'm apparently the god of this farm. I've been exalted as some deity that they speak of in weird parables. So I must bless this farm whenever everybody else is off the server. My next blessing will be to expand the other crops and get eternal seeds. I can't decide if I want to do carrots first or pumpkins first. Pumpkins would probably make more sense spatially. What the heck? You like any version? So any version is okay with you, is what I'm hearing. You'd be okay with any version of me, not the version of me that's real. You don't like the real me. You just like all of them. Like any of them would be fine, right? You'd be fine with either. Oh my God, I think I mentioned this the last time we were playing Hytale with the others, but I keep thinking about Oron High School Host Club lately. I just flashed back to a scene from Oron High School Host Club. It's like, you hear that? She said she'd be cool with either. All right, let's craft some pumpkin seeds. We need a lot of these, actually. crude hoe broke. Oh man, but my satisfying arrangement. I'm gonna have to go make another hoe. Let's see. You like him because he's one of me, but I want you to like this one the best. I'm the real Kaelix. I like, it's okay if you like him, but it seems like you prefer him. I want you to prefer me. You know? Is it returning? Wait, are they bringing back Oran High School Host Club? I'll cry. I will cry. That series aged for sure, but maybe they could update it a little bit. Who knows? Not confirmed. Ah, I see, I see. Wait, yes it is? Is it confirmed or not? What's the truth? I'm getting conflicting testimony here. Okay, what does it take? 30 pumpkins for one. Oh my god, for one eternal seed. I can see why there's only 2 here. A project, but might not be a continuation. Honestly, I don't think they should do a continuation. I think if they do another animated thing, it should be either like a spin-off thing, like a separate self-contained story, or what I personally would prefer would be like the Fruits Basket remake. If you've seen or like seen anything about that, are you familiar? Because with Fruits Basket, they just completely reanimated it. Or I think they did the same thing for like Hunter x Hunter, and I think Full Metal Alchemist got that experience, got that treatment. Wait, that's so cute. Yeah, I think it should be like that. I think they should just reanimate it from scratch so that it's consistent. And they could also update some of the things that do not stand the test of time. You know what I mean? It'd be nice. I would like that. Yeah, I do prefer the old animation usually, but I think that way it would just be... One, it would generate the excitement it needs to continue. And then 2, you have something that you can watch in one sitting that is cohesive. That's how I feel. Or not in one sitting, but you know, in one steady go. You wouldn't have to have like a quality gap between the first one and the second one. And also, an important thing to consider in the anime for Ouran High School Host Club is that last gap of like 2 or 3 episodes, it's all made up. Or I guess the whole series is made up in the traditional sense. But what I mean is like they wrote it for the anime. Like for example, Eclair Tonnerre, she doesn't exist in the manga. They made her up for the anime. Yeah. So redoing it from scratch could kind of account for these things. Because things like that happen when they want to give finality to an anime at a point where the manga does not have finality yet. Another example where that happens is Kakegurui. The Batsubami... I can't remember the given name. Was it Rei? Batsubami Dei? Batsubami Dei. I think that character was also not in the source material for Kakegurui. They created this character so that, you know, so that they could give the season a good final wrapping. Because when they were gaming out the script and the plan for the season, they were like, oh, we're not really going to have something very, very fitting to end with. You see that a lot in anime. Sailor Moon, I would not actually know that because I haven't seen any Sailor Moon, but I believe it. Yeah, Tokyo Ghoul as well. Tokyo Ghoul got this treatment because people were just generally... I think in the case of Tokyo Ghoul, it's that people were not satisfied with the way it was finished. So it had to continue in a different way. Yeah, this happens a lot. The experience of... How do I phrase this? When it comes to releasing and serializing things like manga or written material, it's a bit different than writing and serializing something that is watched and listened to, like as a show. And you have to really, really consider pacing if you want to secure funding for future stuff, because otherwise people aren't going to want to keep watching. Promise Neverland. Oh, don't remind me. I love Promise Neverland season 1. The end. Promise Neverland season 1 is one of my favorite anime I've ever seen. The end. Though I get it, right? Sometimes it's just very, I don't know, most industries are going to have to battle and struggle with things like budgeting. You know, you have to make sure you've got the right funding for whatever you're working on. You got to make sure you've got the people on the scene to work on it. Now, what is this? They got so much cool stuff out here. Yeah, I get why this stuff happens, so it's hard to be that upset. Yeah, all that to say, the ending to Ouran High School Host Club as an anime was written just for the anime so that it would have a good feeling to finish on. So if they continued it, they would have to consider that. You know, they'd have to either include that and continue the story from where it left off, which would derail the manga a lot, or they would have to retcon it and act like it never happened. Though honestly, I think the way they wrote it, you could actually continue because it was self-contained and it's self-resolved. It kind of finishes on its own, you know? So I guess they could just pick it up where they left off. But should they? Gintama explained this. I haven't seen Gintama, but I think I've seen a clip of that exact moment where he explains why filler episodes exist. Is that how that goes? Is that what it was? I do remember seeing a clip from some anime where in character, as an anime character, he explains why they have filler episodes where they're like, so basically they need this story to continue, but this part of the manga hasn't finished releasing yet. So they're just going to write original material so that the anime can keep going even though the manga isn't there yet. And they're just going to do this until the manga catches up. That's basically the subtitle to an anime like One Piece. I've never seen it, but I already know, right? You don't get to that kind of episode count and only recently, after over 1,000 episodes, call it the end of season 1 without filler episodes. I don't need to watch it to know. Look at these places. This is so beautiful. Yeah. I personally like filler episodes, though, and I do actually enjoy characters that are written for, like, viewed stories like anime. I actually like them. I have no issue with them. But when the time comes that you have to address the fact that they were written in, it can be a little complicated. So the approach they'll usually take for them is kind of like what they did in Ouran, and the other one I mentioned was Kakegurui, right? They have it set up in a way where it's like self-contained, and when you finish that part of the story, you have to leave it off pretty much exactly how you started. So, you know, in the second season of Kakegurui, they have all these developments, all these things happen, and then at the end of it, you're right back where you started. Fillers are terrible. Well, it's subjective. I like filler. Because I personally... How do I phrase this? You're going to watch any material. You're going to watch a movie, a show, an anime. You're going to watch it for different things depending on who you are. And sometimes you'll watch it for multiple things. Some people only want to see the story. That's all they care about. They only want to see the plot, and they want to have like a thoughtful, thought-provoking piece of media. They want something to think about. They want to experience that. Some people... You know, for anime, there are different genres. Maybe they just want to see their blorbo have a bunch of cool fights that span 100 episodes. You know, maybe they just want to see cool, long-winded combat. Some people just want to see romance. Some people don't even actually want to see resolved romance. They just want to see almost romance for as long as possible. You know, they want it to take as long as possible without resolution or with really, really slow resolution. People want different things. I like all kinds of stuff, but for me, above all things, I get attached to a character, and I just like to see a character in a situation. So filler episodes are great for me because, you know, it's usually just these characters going on a little adventure. And it has an ending that has to get it back to where it was before the adventure happened, so it's usually just pretty satisfying. I like it. That being said, I do still prefer, like, a 12 episode or maybe 24 episode thing that was intended to be exactly that length from the very beginning. It's not an anime, but it is an animated cartoon. I think one of my favorite series ever. Actually, I have a couple, but my favorite series ever in terms of like intended length is Over the Garden Wall. Nobody did it like Over the Garden Wall did it. Oh my god. Over the Garden Wall could not have been an episode shorter or an episode longer. It is exactly the length it needed to be. And you could think, oh man, I really would love a continuation, but it could not work. You could not have a continuation because it would belie the story, or not belie. It would what's the word? It would kind of reduce, I guess. It's not the word I'm looking for, but it would. I feel that it would reduce the story. It was perfectly considered, perfectly plotted. Another example of an American cartoon that I feel has the perfect length is Gravity Falls. You could make a solid argument for a continuation of Gravity Falls, but I think it finished in exactly the way it needed to. Undermine, thank you. That is the word I was looking for. Undermine. I could not find that word. Sometimes I lose words and can't find them. Yeah, I feel that it would undermine the worth of the story. Avatar The Last Airbender, excellent example. Avatar The Last Airbender is maybe the best in the world. It is exactly as long as it needs to be. There is still story to follow it, but from the beginning, it sets itself up as, you know, this is the story of this guy who needs to learn these things so that he can take down this bad guy. You know? You got the exact story from the beginning of what you should expect from it, and you experience it exactly like that. And it's awesome. Any extra in the main series would undermine the significance of that journey, because that journey is about him mastering the elements and fighting the bad guy. That's it. The story does continue from there, actually, if you read the books. Specifically, a lot of stuff related to Zuko's mother. But that can be a separate story, you know? Now, I wonder if I can get water from the bottom of the well. Legend of Korra. I love Legend of Korra. And see, that's how that's the best way to continue something that doesn't need to be continued, I think, is to create something that happens in the same world but with different characters. Uh-oh. That's no good. Ah, man, this is tough. I must say, I'm not a very big fan of the way that water works right now. I hope they update that in the future. I know the game is not finished yet. But yeah, I personally love Legend of Korra. There are people that criticize it because it's not Avatar The Last Airbender, but it never said it was Avatar The Last Airbender, you know? It's a completely different story with a completely different character, with completely different values. So it's just generally going to be a very different experience, you know? I think if you walk out of The Legend of Korra unsatisfied, you may have had an unrealistic expectation. That's how I feel. If you go into The Legend of Korra expecting The Legend of Korra, then you're going to get it, you know? But if you go in expecting Avatar The Last Airbender, then you're going to walk out a little disappointed. Oh, whoops. I keep clicking the wrong thing. That's how I feel. All right, let's see. It's going to take forever to do these pumpkins. Took that long just to get 30 up. All right, we'll do one of these. And then we'll do the rest normal. Life is a pile of expectations. I suppose that's true. I wouldn't say it's anybody's fault in particular. It's more like an explanation as to why somebody could experience The Legend of Korra and not enjoy it, you know? Nobody's at fault. Nobody's to blame. There's no need to point fingers. It's just, you know, if you go into it expecting something that it isn't, then you will be disappointed. I went into it expecting what it was, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, so I have zero criticism. It's all about what you expect and keeping those expectations realistic. Honestly, even outside of enjoying something like a TV show, I think that's just a generally good practice you know, tempering your expectations so that they will reflect the reality you're more likely to live. For example, if you walk into a business opportunity expecting to be handed $1 billion and you very realistically are not handed $1 billion, you're going to walk out feeling kind of bad. I think it's just generally a good idea to think realistically and to expect realistic things when you can. And when you are disappointed by the lack of like what you expected, even if it was a realistic expectation, it's important to just I think it's important to focus on what you can enjoy and what you do have. That's how I feel. But that's just how I live my life. I'm nobody to tell anybody else what to do. Do I believe in bad movies? Absolutely. However, I do not believe in universally unenjoyable movies. Does that make sense? Like from a... I guess there's no such thing as a truly objective standard, but from very common standards, right? There are things that make movies good and that make movies bad. For example, it could be a very poorly written movie. It could be very poorly acted as a common thing. You know, if you got a bunch of ham actors who can't portray a character that feels realistic, that will make it what you consider a bad movie, right? I don't understand how they're sorting this at all. Where was the iron and stuff? However, whoa. You know, even a movie that is considered traditionally very bad, it can still be enjoyed. I'm going to borrow one of these. I say borrow, but I'm not going to give it back. For example, there's this one movie, I will not name it, because generally I will say, as a content creator, it's a good idea to avoid negatively criticizing things. But there's one movie that is infamously bad. It had a huge budget. It got a ton of A-list people involved. A bunch of really significant, expensive IPs, like humongous budget just on placement and casting. And it was one of the single worst movies ever written. But I loved watching that movie with my friends. We had such a good time watching that movie. It was one of the funniest things I had ever seen. Because it was so bad. You know? This movie is, by any reasonable standard, terrible. Unenjoyable. Is what most people would say. But I loved it. I ate it up. I thought it was the funniest thing in the world. I will not confirm which one it is. Because again, I personally prefer to avoid negatively criticizing things. I'll praise something if I like it. Or I'll talk about something if I'm neutral, but if I dislike it, I think it's better to just avoid it. Oh, man. I wish it was easier to collect water. I will not confirm the movie. But yeah, I will say there is this one film that had a tremendous budget and flopped so hard. I think it's one of the biggest losses in cinematic history. And I watched it with my friends for the first time, and I loved it because it was so laughably bad. So, I will say that it's all a matter of perspective. Or, there's also... We were talking about filler episodes in anime earlier, right? People generally consider these to be bad, but I actually really like them because I'm looking for something else in them. I find what I'm looking for in them. So it's all just generally a matter of perspective. It can be very popular that something is a certain way. You can have a very popular opinion that it's bad, but it's still subjective. Yeah. It's opinions based. Do you know that video? That video cracks me up. There's this video of this guy street interviewing people and asking what they think the best, which country makes the best food. And this lady says, the United Kingdom, or like England specifically, maybe. She says England. And he says, wrong. And she's like, no, it's opinions based. He was like, yeah, but there's statistics that, and then she's like, no, but it's still opinions based. He's like, what kind of things from the UK do you like? She goes, popcorn. And see, that's a funny thing because, you know, it's exactly a good example of this, though, right? It's a matter of perspective. It is a very common meme, a very common joke to make fun of British cuisine, especially when you get into a lot of the cooking that involves beans. But it is nonetheless the food that you expect to eat there, right? So if you live your life there eating this food, then this is not, you know, it's not gross or funny to you. It's all a matter of what you grow up with and what you like and what you expect from something. Beans on toast. Yeah, not to mention popcorn is not exactly the most British food you could think of, right? Yeah, thinking about where corn comes from. And also just like the fact that I don't know how you could really make it good or bad. It's just popcorn. I guess you could burn it. But I would not, you know, I would not go to a specific country for something like popcorn. British Chinese takeout. That is really interesting, actually. Because when you get into things like Chinese cooking in other countries, specifically like what I would call it is American Chinese, because that's what I'm accustomed to. What you do is you take Chinese recipes, but you substitute ingredients to suit local availability and also local palates, right? So you're making these things based on the people that are eating it and also the ingredients that you can actually find nearby at the grocery stores. And I think American Chinese food goes so hard. I think the ingredients go so well together and they enhance into something that is amazing. I love specifically like family run American Chinese food. Now, if it's a chain, I cannot speak to that. But when it's just, you know, like a family run Chinese restaurant in the United States, I think that is some of the best food you can have. It is so good. But I cannot speak to other places where the same thing happens. Ancestors are crying. I get that. And it is a very common perspective. And it's not my place to have an opinion, but I will say that I think even within mainland China, you know, within the entire country, if you are in one place and you have a meal and then you go to a different part of the country and have a meal, they will be entirely different. The menus will look completely different because of the regions, right? I consider it kind of like I personally view it as almost a different region of cooking. Not at all the same thing, but I wouldn't say it's like better or worse than. I would say it's different than. That's how I personally view it, because it's the same people cooking with the same, pretty much the same recipes. It's just like styled in a different way based on local ingredients. Yeah. I love it, personally. I gobble it up. Now, do you think it's sustainable to do this for every single one of these? Probably not, right? That'd be pretty awesome, though. Water's just too hard to get over here. I'd have to make, like, at least 6 other wooden buckets to do this more sustainably. That took us a while. That was like 3 topics ago when we started this. Yeah, right. And this is true for a lot of any large country. You know, like in South America, you'll see a billion different ways to cook the same thing, and it will taste completely differently depending on where in South America you're getting it. Or like even within the United States, you know, it's such a melting pot of ideas and of practices and of recipes that if you have something as simple as a hot dog in, say, New York City, it's going to taste completely different than if you have a hot dog in, like, Los Angeles. You know? I think that's one of the things that makes food cool. You could get into it in so many different things. Or, like, dumplings. There are, like, 1 billion different kinds of dumplings. Yeah, I want to get the number right. I think about 1 billion different kinds of dumplings that you can have. And I love that. I love that it's so versatile. Are these ready for harvest yet? I think I just checked these earlier, but I got distracted. We gotta harvest these as much as possible. Dungeon Messi. That is something they talk about in Dungeon Messi at one point, actually, is the versatility of the dumpling. We need to continue our members-only watch-along of that. I keep forgetting that we're doing that. I tried to leave it at a good place where I could get away with forgetting it and leave you at a point that's kind of satisfying if you never go back and watch it on your own, but I also want you to see the rest of it because we stopped at the point where it gets really good. If I could have anything to eat right now, what would I have? I'd probably have... Well, because we talked about it, I'm really craving American Chinese food. Like, I would do a lot for a plate of General Tso's right now. General Tso's chicken. Oh my god. Or like sesame chicken on sticky white rice. Oh, that'd be so good. Panda Express, I've never had it. I can't, that's what I was saying earlier. I cannot speak to chains. And honestly, I think chains are probably where you're... I can't speak to it because I've never had it. So this is not me forming an opinion about a specific brand, just to be clear. But I expect that with chains, that's where you start to step away from what makes things like American Chinese food good. What makes it good is that it's family run by people that have their own recipes, but they're adjusting the recipes to suit what is available to them. So yeah, I cannot speak to it. The only Chinese restaurants that I've been to that are in my area are family run. I say in my area in a very broad sense, though. I have to go a little far. But yeah, I love takeaway Chinese food. And now I'm craving it because we talked about it. I want it bad. Oh, I want it. I got fiber now, so I can continue the ground. Okay. Where's the dirt chest? Let's steal some of his dirt. I don't know how he got all this dirt, but... Xiaolongbao. I've wanted to try that for a while. It's a little embarrassing to admit, because I don't have very many opportunities to be exposed to a lot of new foods. It's very rare, because I don't travel. I'm only recently getting into traveling now. It's more of a realistic thing for me to invest in. Things like flight tickets and stuff. So it's very rare that I have opportunities to see new foods. Xiaolongbao is something I only know about because of Millie. We were full circle. We were talking about Millie earlier, right? Because there's a song I really love by Millie called Retort. It's spelled RTRT. And the story is about a Jiangxi who comes into this girl's laboratory. She's like a scientist. And even though these are like monsters, right? They're like zombies, basically. This one is actually kind of friendly as long as you feed it. And she cooks Chinese food. I think this researcher in particular is Chinese. So all the foods that she cooks for him to placate him and you know, be on good terms with him, they're all Chinese food. And so some of the Chinese food names that I know about, I actually only know about that song. I only know about because of that song. My gosh, my camera is in like 2 frames a second right now. What's going on? This has been happening a lot lately. I thought it was my internet before, but it's actually my camera. I know my PC can handle it, so there may be something I'm offloading wrong in OBS. Wait, is placate pronounced placate? I'm dead. What? Since when? I've been saying it placate my whole life. Is it placate? Oh my god! Oh, I'm gonna be sick. It's been a while for me. What is going on? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna check my task manager. It should be fine though, as far as like resources on my PC go. Yeah, no, everything is under 50 in my task manager. I'm not sure why my camera is running like this. Thought that's how it was pronounced in my village. No, I just discovered this word by reading instead of hearing it out loud. I had no idea. I read the word as playsate, so that's just how I've said it ever since I discovered it. Something updating? No, it's my resources are fine. It's specifically my camera. I think there may be an issue in OBS. I don't know. I'll have to investigate this. I guess I'm just gonna have to be 2 frames a second for now. Don't check for pronunciation. Well, I might do that now, but you see, I discovered this word when I was maybe 10 years old, and I've just said it this way ever since, and nobody stopped me. Till now. Unplug it and plug it again. Okay. Oh my god, there's a legitimate use for this. This is a time where this guy's like actually useful. Yeah, I'm gonna reset my camera. Yeah, I really love that song, Retort. And it's filled with Chinese food names. Wait, is my internet dying? Oh, that's sick. First my camera, now I'm actually losing connection. Oh, man. I'm losing so many frames. I'm gonna cry. Oh no. Oh man. I'm not playing. This is real. This is totally real. You cannot make this timing up. First my camera messes up and then instantly I lose internet connection. Okay, hold on. Let's see if I can fix this. You know, I think we're just cooked. I think it's just cooked. Do you want to just have cardboard Kaelix out for today? It ended up becoming relevant. I do need to wrap soon no matter what. I don't know how much longer I can sit up. My back has been killing me this whole time. That's why I chose a very light activity. Yeah, I'll just let cardboard Kaelix have it for now. I'm still here. I just can't get my camera to work for some reason. Anyway, it's a really, really cute song. I'll give you xiaolong bao, wonton, and chow sao. Delivery or takeout won't beat my retort pouch. It's really good. I love Millie. Shouts out Millie. My favorite band. How's the latency? Do you want to test it? All right, let's see. I'm gonna count down from 3. What I want you to do is I want you to prepare the question mark emoji. No, pumpkin emoji. The jack-o'-lantern emoji, okay? I want you to type, but do not send yet, all right? Type, but do not send the jack-o'-lantern emoji. Do you have it ready? I'm gonna count down from 3. When I say go, I want you to send the jack-o'-lantern, okay? 3, 2, 1, go. We can see how bad the latency is. Oh, it's over. Oh, it's over. Oh my god, that's really bad. I still don't see it. Okay, there it is. Holy moly, this is really bad. What is going on? Well, I know the root of all my issues now. I'm gonna have to do some investigating after this is over. And I think I may need to start getting a separate internet plan just for myself. Holy moly. Oh my god, this is crazy. Well, it's a good thing we're due to wrap soon anyway. Because I personally really struggle to maintain dialogue this way. I like being able to see what you're saying. I guess I could, but it feels disingenuous. You know what I mean? So we've accomplished most of our goals. The only thing left to do is I need to plant cabbage here too. Or not cabbage, but lettuce. I keep calling it cabbage. Okay. I've expanded the dirt. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 11, right? Is it 11? Did I count that right? Let's see. How many can we make? We can make about 6, right? So let's continue with the eternal seeds as best as we can. Oh, I understand now why he didn't continue it past. He didn't continue it past because of the water, right? That's fine. I actually prefer manually watering them personally. Are we back? Are we back? Okay, we gotta get out of here. We are not back to stay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're gonna call it is what we're gonna do. And I will wrap inside of the shed. Okay. Oh my goodness. This is devastating. Yeah, I'm just looping, aren't I? This happens. Okay. I don't know how to finish. Because I don't know if you can actually hear me. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. Here is what I'm gonna do, alright? Let's see. Let's go over here.